Hey guys, this is Vinay and you're watching my show Let's Talk. As always, bringing inspiring stories to you. Today, I sit next to my guest who spilled colors, who spilled exuberance, and she was the one who actually choreographed the dance where Mr. Narendra Modi, our Honorable Prime Minister, opened a speech in Germany. It was a spectacular show that she put up, and she's truly an inspirational dancer for all of us. An honor to be talking to Mayuri Upadhya.
Namaste.
Namaste. Lovely having you. You're looking great.
My pleasure.
I want to ask you this. 6 years, when you were 6-year-old, you started dancing. At that point in time, was it just that because your parents put you to dance? What was going on in that young Mayuri's mind?
I think I was mad when I was 6 and that continues till date. So I think when you take up dance, you really must be mad
Is
in
it?
your head.
Okay.
I started my formal training in dance at 6.
Okay.
But before that, at home, I would always
Always
keep dancing, whether it's Sri Devi moves in television and I would imagine characters and dance.
In front of the mirror.
Not even in front of the mirror. It could be in the garden. It could be on the streets.
Wow.
And I've even danced sometimes when it would rain. I would, wherever the water is clogged, I would go and dance there. So my mother would just beat me up saying, you can't do this as a child. So she would go hunting for me. Even if there was there would be balloon.
Yeah, the street.
So if they come, I would really be fascinated with the quirks, the colors, and that would help me break into a dance too.
So you
Even in
expressed through
classroom,
dancing.
the teacher is on and she's going on with her lessons, but I would have switched off. So in my mind, I'm dancing. So I think the fascination to dance and the need to dance started much before 6.
Okay.
Any guest who came home, they had to watch me dance, whether they like it or not,
And you were a performer? No fear?
Very happy to perform.
Okay.
Anytime.
So you were an extrovert, ready to perform?
I was an extrovert. Not in terms of talking. I was a very fat kid.
Really?
Yeah,
Can't believe that.
I was. But I would love to dance.
Okay. And did you express your feelings through dance? And is that the reason why you started loving that?
Maybe, it was probably my way of escaping into a comfort zone, and it was the most imaginative way, I could be Alice in Wonderland, or I could be Supandi from comics, or I could be, anything else. I could even be a doob if required.
Yeah, so you were ready for anything.
I would love that, I think that's one of the needs of an artist, You'd never have a regular day, you never have a regular composition. You're like a chameleon.
And being South Indian parents, to let their daughter take dance as a profession, how difficult was it to convince them?
Well, they're fantastic parents, and even my entire family. I've come from a place where even my granddad's house in Mumbai, we've always had artists come and live, and it's been
So there
great
is some
patronage.
exposure to...
Absolutely. But career, I think, is a very new word, because usually when you say you're taking dance as a profession, we've heard some really funny things, We dancers talk about it. So they say, oh, you're a dancer. Okay, so you must be having a lot of free time. Or, so you're a dancer, so you have a rich husband. Or you're a dancer. Okay, what do you do for a living? These
People
are the
don't
kind
accept that dancing is a profession.
The idea that it is profession is I think now, because of the exposure, that's building now.
And at what age did you actually consider taking it as a very serious profession?
Even I didn't know if it is about profession. I knew that dance was the only thing I wanted to do. Okay. So since college, I think I started pursuing my training in a very serious way. So I learned multiple forms and classical to contemporary forms.
You're just not classical. You've learned a couple of forms along with martial arts. How did you do all of that?
I think just like you're a designer, you're a banker
Yeah.
and you're a host here. So
The
same
passion
thing.
inside you?
I'm just doing dance, different forms of dance.
Okay.
Compared to you, I'm quite boring then.
No, no, not at all. I mean, people should know that you've learned multiple dance forms, you've learned martial arts, and you are a very rare mix of beauty and brains. And the reason why I say that is you had an entrepreneurial side to you, and you blended that very well with dance in terms of taking dance to a different level altogether. Tell me, how did that come up?
Yeah, I agree to that. For me, dance, when I say profession, for me, it's when I took up dancing, it was not about money,
Sure.
and it was not about survival through dance, but it was somewhere about finding that path. So for me, my dance, as much as an art form it is, my art has to be valued.
Sure. Respect is extremely important.
Absolutely. And the respect, if it is shown in a check, yes, I wouldn't mind it
Who
at all.
don't want that? Yeah, yeah.
So I wanted to understand the structure of dance, especially coming from a city like Bangalore, we have the best of corporate hub and there's so much business knowledge here. So I'm very keen in understanding how do I adapt that into my field, my
Sure.
profession, because they feel like an artist should not demand money. It's an
Yeah.
insult. And there are a lot of misconceptions which come with art. Whereas, no, I belong to the new age. I'm very progressive. I work very hard to make my art look good. Dance is a very costly profession, very demanding. So definitely, I have worked very hard in comparing and understanding a business adaptability into this field.
But very smart, I must say. Nritarutya is the academy that you started 20 years back. Is it right?
Yeah.
Tell me the first time when you actually got this name out. What was your thought process behind this name called Nritarutya?
Very frankly, I question myself, why did I call this name? It's a
Tongue
tongue
twister?
twister,
Yeah.
and very few people can pronounce this. It was not just me. We were 5 founders
Okay.
in Nritarutya. Madhuri, my sister, who is also the associate director of the company. Then there was Geeta, Geeta Balal. They've all no longer part of Nritarutya. Umesh Naidu and Satya.
Okay.
So 5 of us together started this, and we were just thinking of an interesting name, and Nritarutya was one of the.
Whose idea was that?
It was one of the dancer friends, So Nritya means dance and Taru means tree. So we said we're branching out like a tree through
Wow.
dance, and we said, yay, we've got this name. And especially when we do shows, the compeers really struggle to say this.
But it's a nice one, Nritarutya, right? It's very soothing and very
You
meaningful
think so?
as well.
Thank
I
you.
like it. But when you started out, were there a lot of dance schools?
See, what I'm doing is not a dance school. Nritarutya is a dance company.
Sure.
So for us, we have dancers who are employed like any other company. So they are salary paid, they have the insurance, they have the perks,
Wow.
they have their investments if they are senior dancers. They have their training, they have their choreography. So it's a full-time job like any other dance company internationally.
That's brilliant. And probably this is
So-
one of the very few academies that we have in India.
Absolutely. And to get into Nritarutya as a professional dancers, we like audition about 100 dancers and get one. So it's
Pick the
a
best.
very small, selective team of dancers that work in the company. But schools, we have multiple
Sure.
now.
So if I understood right, because I just wanted to let the viewers know what
Yeah.
exactly does Nritarutya do. A, you guys are trained dancers, picking the best of the lot, and you guys coming together and putting up shows across the world. And number 2, you also have academies where you teach people dance. Your trainers and you teach dance as well. Are those two the main things that you
Yes,
guys do?
performing is the main function of Nritarutya. So we choreograph and perform. So
Sure.
the repertory wing is the most active.
Sure.
And education is the second part of it, yes.
Sure. And when you started off, what were the struggles that you had to face? Did you ever think that today, when you look back, 20 years down the lane,
Yeah.
Nritarutya would have gone and choreographed the Prime Minister of India's opening ceremony, and you made India proud. And I was reading an article about that, where it states that you got the best of the culture of India, be it yoga, be it dance forms, be it art, anything. You combined them all together, and it was through a dance form. Did you ever imagine you're going to do that?
I didn't, but no complaints, absolutely.
I'm sure.
So yes, very happy. And for me and the dancers in Nritarutya as a team, we consciously make an effort that we are not just performers, not just dancers.
Sure.
Because to be a dancer in today's world, you need a fantastic mindset where you are able to adapt into different, whatever challenges come. So for us, it was very important that we don't get boxed into one level of performances alone. So the kind of genres of work that we choose, the projects that we choose,
Yeah.
is vast, from films to corporate work to festivals to collaborative work to very formal events like what we did at Hanover.
Sure.
So and the challenging part when you do these events, for when it's commissioned and it's done,
Yeah.
is that you're not an artist doing your own thing.
Yeah.
You have to interpret the mind of somebody else, and yet make it beautiful and artistic, which is a fantastic challenge.
Yeah. Creatively fulfilling.
Creatively very demanding, but when we know that the show is on, I usually stop sleeping for a few days
do?
until the whole planning goes. And it's come to a stage where I say, okay, now this is on, and my husband's like, yo,
And Raghu was on the show, and he was telling that my wife's life is extremely demanding. The kind of training that you do, you look great. So I'm sure it takes a lot of effort to be physically fit because you do dance forms and train for your dance. So how does your day look like?
I start my day, I'm up by 5, so my day starts by 7 in my studio, and wind up usually by 7 in the evening. If not, if there's a project, by 11:30, 12.
Wow. And where do you get the energy from?
I'm luckily, when I deal with large scale work, which is like 80 dancers, 100 dancers, whatever, I'm not dancing as well.
Sure. So that helps.
That helps. I'm able to organize and compartmentalize that. So yeah.
And you're married to another creative person who is a musician, who is a folk singer. He's a rock star. I mean, he doesn't like me calling him rock star. He's a folk star.
He's a folk rock star.
He's a folk rock star. How easy or how difficult it is to extremely creative, and if I can call mad people together in the house, is it house on fire?
I think he's the more mad person comparatively. I think it's great in a lot of ways, and it's quite tough as well.
Demanding industries, right?
Very demanding industries. Both of us are similar in our personalities, in our ambition level, our relationship first being with our art, So
both of you first is art and then everything else.
Absolutely. No matter what we say, we both love what we do, and I think that's mainly our purpose, and we're very driven with what we're doing. So that passion is something I fuel in him and he fuels in me. And today, if I'm stressed, I can go home and really talk to him about every little detail of it. And if I'm fantastic, I just have to tell him this happened, and one look he'll know
that
how much
happy.
it means to me.
Yeah.
So that understanding, because he's an artist, I think is great.
But is it easy because he's a musician and you're a dancer? It's a good blend. You guys have done a lot of projects together.
Yes.
And does it help?
It helps because if he's doing music for my work again, I use very few words to explain.
Because he understands you.
Absolutely. It's like the perfect marriage of music and dance as well. I think our tough parts come when we have to make time,
Yeah.
Earlier, I could make time for him, but now even my work is extended so much that we struggle to actually consciously get time for each other.
Sure.
So
Must be tough.
that is tough, yeah.
In the current generation, dance again is associated with movies. So you have to, there's a checklist. You tick a box and say you've choreographed for a movie, any language for that matter, gets a lot of limelight and it's very natural in a country like India for it to happen. Yeah. So your association with movie is very limited. Yeah. Was it a conscious decision? I'm sure you had got a lot of opportunities to work and do stuff in the movies, right?
We have, and I have, yes. I think dance in India is actually popular in mainly two ways, I think it's Bollywood, yes. There's also the classical, which is also very strong, whether if you go to a Chennai or a Delhi, the classical roots are very strong. Very strong. So there's still two separate zones, and there's nothing in the middle zone, which can be for the mass, which can be popular and yet have a very artistic sensibility to it. It's either mass or very class.
Yeah.
So this middle line is what I'd love to explore.
Okay.
And films, yes, for me more than films, for me it's important that the director is giving me an interesting possibility.
True. Let you do creative stuff based on what you want to do, right?
Yeah, totally. And he should give me a lot of liberty, and his script needs to demand that. So it's not that our dancers would just be placed behind a hero for no reason.
Yeah. It's a passe now.
In fact, I am doing something for Bollywood.
Nice.
Next year you will see me and my company doing something for one of the biggest banners.
Wow.
We've already finished shooting, so...
really?
Yeah. And the trailers are on, so it's for one of the biggest banners, Rakesh Om Prakash Mehra.
Okay, wonderful. Taking your views now on India as a country for classical dance. In the last 20 years, how has it changed?
Well, classical is mainly a solo form, and I think in the last 20 years, it's turning more into group work. I think there's a lot more refinement. They say that a lot of people argue that classical dance is dying, and I don't agree with that. I don't think classical art can ever die.
Yeah.
It's got a very strong foot.
That's the foundation, right?
Absolutely. So I would say that this treasure is something which is building upon, I think there are ways in which people are understanding more in depth. Like we have the form, but now they understand the body anatomy of it, and they understand how to keep the longer lifespan of a body to, execute a form. Or it could be documenting a form, like the R&D in classical or any of our performing arts, has been very minimum. I think in these last few years, there has been a lot of research and good amount of collection on that. And I think there is a lot more communication between artists.
Yeah.
So whether it is your online or
social media wave has created a lot of...
So there are even Skype lessons. So it's fantastic.
Talking about social media, in today's generation, television, when I say television, it's the, not the films, but the television in the houses, and social media has played an extremely important role to carry the work of an artist to get the maximum reach. And for you as a dancer, you picked up a project where you judged a reality show, which is great because you would reach your company or you or the kind of body of work that you do reaches that many people. What made you to sign up that project?
I think it's something new I've not tried.
Okay.
So initially I myself was against it, I wasn't sure. Yeah. I always would watch a reality show and think, oh, this is all schemed and planned and all the drama.
Is it really like that?
No, it's very surprising, at least in what I've done. There are moments when you get highly emotional about what is performed. There are really sensitive times when, like the reality show I did, a coolie worker brought his son to stage, and he could have the knowledge and awareness that his child has this talent and it needs to be showcased.
Wow.
So for a father to support his son in such a beautiful manner, and if a television or a reality show is supporting that, then it's fantastic, yeah. So,
But nothing was scripted?
no,
Not at all?
no, especially my comments.
You know, in that particular reality show, there was a very senior actor, there was an actress, and there was you who was a trained dancer. And you were the one who used to give a lot of technical comments and give the nuances to people to get them better. So, is that like the way you are? Are you
Yeah.
very critical and...
Yeah, I think I'm trained to be like that,
Is it?
yeah.
Are you a hard taskmaster?
I am.
All your dancers
Definitely.
seeing this should be like...
They'll totally agree with that and they'll nod their head. I'm not rude.
Okay.
I would never yell at my dancers, but I'm very
Stern.
demanding of them. Yes, I am quite a perfectionist.
Okay.
So the material, whatever we present, it has to be done in a particular fashion, and if it means midnight practice, also they have to do
They
it.
have
If
to do it.
means skipping lunch and continuing few hours of practice to get a movement right, it means that, yes.
And to the viewers seeing this, two things, if I may request. One is advice to all the young dancers out there who are passionate about dancing, but then they have no clue on how to take it up as a profession, but they're intending to do that. What would your advice be?
I think dance or any profession, yeah, you want to do it, you should give your 100%. You cannot be a lazy dancer.
Yeah.
You cannot say, I want to dance, ma'am, this is my passion, and then say, my boyfriend's waiting outside. You can't do that. So, most of them feel like if you're a dancer or actress or whatever, these are all things to do with entertainment, or they feel it's an easy profession. It's the most demanding. Like now our dancers, we insist that their diet has to be intact. Your body is performing from 5 to 7 hours, it's training vigorously.
Yeah.
Your mind is exhausted by the end of the day, all you want to do is plonk.
Yeah.
But the next day you have to pick yourself up. So it's a very grueling profession. So when you get into it, don't come for the glamour part, because you'll dance that 5 minutes on stage, but the effort that goes for months backstage is what you have to think about.
Sure. In Kannada industry, or let's say South Indian industries, choreographers are not that celebrated. So, like for example, in Bollywood, we have Saroj Khan and a lot of very big names. So, why is it that here people don't give so much of importance to that?
I feel like, I don't know why it isn't, but I think it's time that the choreographers put their foot down.
Yeah.
Because somewhere we make stars too. It's not just the music directors, not just the director of the film. Yes, of course, he is the captain of the ship. But at the end of the day, one hit dance number can run a movie.
Sure.
Right?
And in Bollywood, that happens most of the time.
Absolutely. So I don't know why choreographers down south are so humble. I had an opportunity to work with Raju Sundaram recently, a man of that caliber, and he's still so humble. You can make out the difference from a Bollywood choreographer to our South Indians. I think if they put their foot down, or they demand, or they know their worth and say, this is what I want, I think that's the change we need to make.
This season, Mayuri, we are also spreading awareness on cancer. Just your message to people seeing this in terms of cancer awareness.
One of the most deadly diseases, and even in my family, I've had a lot of people, I've lost a lot of people because of this, and I have a few of them already battling this, and it's one person gets cancer, but I think the whole family's morale is drawn with it. So not just physically, it's a disease which affects you mentally, And I think fitness, of course, is very important for everyone, but now I think there is a possibility of taking it on a lighter note, and not a lighter note, but taking it in
their stride, because their science and technology is advanced.
Absolutely, science and technology is advanced, and there are a lot of people who have come forward, who have fought it, and they stand as examples. So it's not the end.
Very well said. In conversation with Mayuri, we're going to be right back. In conversation with the Queen of Expression, Mayuri Upadhya.
I knew it. I knew I'm animated, right? Okay.
Last segment, a couple of questions
Okay.
for you to give us one-liner answers.
Sure.
And one dance form which is closest to your heart. Anyone?
That's tough. There's so many. Okay. Odyssey.
Odyssey?
Yeah.
One dancer of all times that you've truly admired and grown up watching.
I think Bijoyini Satpathy.
One movie of the recent times that you saw and you wish like, damn it, I should have choreographed this.
Bajirao.
Bajirao Mastani?
Yeah.
One director that you definitely want to work with once and choreograph for their movie.
Sanjay Leela Bansali, Maniratnam too.
Does Maniratnam's movies have opportunity to?
Fantastic opportunity, yes.
One actor you wish to choreograph once, any language, any industry.
Maybe Shahid.
Maybe?
Or Madhuri.
Oh.
Madhuri Dixit or Shahid Kapoor.
Both of them are brilliant dancers.
Good dancers, yeah. That's.
One actor
And Puneet if it's
is
Karnataka.
Kannada. Okay.
Yeah.
One actress you feel you can get the best dancer out of that person.
I don't know about the best, but I feel like Aishwarya is somebody I would love to work with. I feel like she's got the classical base, so there is more capacity than she's given to Bollywood.
So you have Sanjay Leela Bansali, you have Aishwarya Rai, so you have Madhuri Dixit,
Yeah.
all coming in one project where you're going to choreograph would be a dream come true.
Of course. I don't know about one project. I think these are too
Tough to put in all
too
in
tough,
one.
Yeah.
In different industries, if you wish to work with one of the key personalities, whom would that be? In Kannada, apart from Puneet, any actresses that you would want to?
Actresses? Priya is quite good. Priya Mani. Definitely. Ramya has not danced much.
So you would like her to dance more?
Yeah.
You can
I
get her
think
the
these
best.
two girls. There is also a new girl called Meghana, I think.
Okay.
I don't know if she's Meghana Raj though.
Okay.
I think so. So she looks pretty interesting.
One actress from Tamil and Telugu whom you want to choreograph?
Telugu, I think Anushka Shetty.
Karnataka girl?
She's ruling there. She rocks
she
there
rocks, yeah.
in the Telugu industry. Tamil, I think Dhanush.
Oh, he's a fantastic dancer.
Absolutely. When he dances for that movie Adukola.
Yeah.
Ooh, I've seen that number so many times. It's one of my favorites. And it's still not choreographed.
It's not, yeah, that's true. One thing that you want to change about Bangalore?
Traffic. If there's any magic beans that we could pop and change this, I think it's fantastic, yeah, the city.
Yeah. One advice from someone that you've got that's completely changed your life?
Sky's the limit.
And who said that?
My dad and my uncle. You know, they would always keep telling me since my childhood days. They would just pop up and say, "Sky's the limit, huh?" And I would just twinkle and look at them. So yeah.
One message or a word to describe Mr. Prabhudeva,
Prabhudeva, genius.
Saroj Khanji,
Inspiration.
Farah Khan,
Smart and witty.
and she's got multifaceted faces where she does movies and.
Yeah, so she's a creative mind.
And one choreographer from South India that you completely adore and.
Prabhudeva. Absolutely, yeah.
Did you ever feel bad? I'm sure it's understatement, but when you did the grand show for our Prime Minister in Germany, not many people spoke about it. The media didn't cover as much as what it had to be. When you got back, what was going on in your mind? Were you angry?
No, I wasn't angry, but I made it clear. I mean, I approached the papers.
Sure.
A Bangalore team has done choreography for Amitabh Bachchan, where he's called a team from Bangalore. 80 of us have gone and
Yeah.
performed. Some of the biggest industrialist scholars to perform and create work. And we have the government of India, Mr. Modi, calling us, flying 96 dancers out to
Yeah.
showcase and represent the spirit of India. And none of the papers were interested in carrying it. So, we talk about this star met somewhere else.
Crap
Sometimes
news.
even a porn star gets more mileage and news bit,
Yeah.
where all they're talking about is she didn't have breakfast, she bumped into somebody. So I don't know what gets into this category of making news.
News, yeah.
So it's not that even the idea of celebrity is something which fascinates me, because not all celebrities are successful,
Yeah.
and not all successful people are celebrities.
Yeah, absolutely.
So for me, it's their loss when they're not celebrating what we're doing, and whether it comes or not, our journey continues. Like
Sure.
next, we are performing Make in India for Mr. Modi again.
Wow.
So
So 2016 looks very promising.
yes, it is.
For what plans for Nritarutya?
Opening ceremony for
Yeah,
Mr.
big
Modi's,
one.
and a Bollywood film, and we are creating a lot of large-scale, interesting repertory work. So it's, I think, a 10-year or a 5-year plan than 2016.
Sure. And did you ever have a chance to interact with the Prime Minister?
Not yet.
Okay. So this time you're going to
We've
to.
always had feedback through, his secretaries and everything. But if I do, yes, I would love to.
Great, wonderful chatting with you. You have taken the dance, you've taken Bangalore, and you've taken this profession to a different level. Now people will look up to it with a lot of respect. The body of work that you guys are doing is commendable. More power, all best, and we only wish that we'll see much more from our very own Nritarutya
Thank
and
you.
from you, Mayuri.
Thank
Lovely
you so
having
much.
you.
It was a pleasure.
Your last thoughts on the show? How did you like being on the show?
Great fun. I think you're going to buy me dinner next. And I think the concept of your show is very interesting. And like I said, not many of them interview dancers. So it's usually the idea of just
Yeah.
few celebrities and this. So I like the fact that you picked personalities from different fields.
Yeah.
And that encompasses the idea of a good city, or the spirit of a city. So I think that is very fascinating, and good effort in all areas. So all the best to you for your next season and for the airing of this as well.
Thank you very much. Lovely having you. Before we let you go, a little goodie from our gifting partners PN Rao and DC Designs.
Thank
I
you.
hope you'll like it.
I win this even without the rapid fire
Rapid
or
fire
anything.
the competitor along with
Thank you.
I don't know if dancers are obsessed with selfie, but it's a selfie world. So let's take a selfie.
Hi, this is Mayuri Upadhya, and if you've enjoyed watching this show, there's more to see, there's more to come. So please subscribe to Let's Talk with Vinay. When you want to do it, you should give your 100%. You cannot be a lazy dancer. You cannot say, I want to dance, ma'am, this is my passion, and then say my boyfriend's waiting out.